Hello, everybody, and welcome to a super duper special reverse sweep edition of the rotation. My name is Ashley, aka MiDNiTE, joined as usual by IKON and Kingdom, and today we have the entire roster for Minnesota RØKKR. Guys, what the frick? Like, how did this happen? I can't even wrap my brain around the win. It's been literally less than 2 years since this team, like this organization was started. This team that we've brought in with you guys coming on this year for this season, we've had lots of ups, we've had lots of downs, we've had crazy moments, we've had fun moments, we've had bad moments, but it all kind of culminated to this huge victory that happened this past weekend. So I'm here for the hype, and I just want to say hell yeah, bro. Well, how are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling about everything?
Thank you. We're feeling really good. It was a solid weekend. Even before finals, we were feeling really good. So,
yes, can you hear us?
you can hear us?
You hear us?
Yeah, I hear.
I hear you. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we hear you.
We got you.
All right. I
Yeah,
can't hear
good.
Dylan. I don't think I can hear Dylan.
Hello?
I can hear him.
I hear you, bro.
Damn.
Weird.
Hey, listen, I'll relay
No,
what he
I
was
got
saying.
it, I
Yeah,
got
relay
it.
my message. Relay my message.
No, I got
you.
you, dude. I figured it out. It was
He's saying
me.
we're feeling really good.
Yeah, we're just feeling good. We're just feeling good. You know, a good weekend up until finals. And, you know, we were starting to have a bad weekend, and then we turned around and made it a good weekend again.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. So I was at the we had like a watch party at Up Down in Minneapolis. So there was lots of RØKKR fans in the building, and I'm not gonna lie, the vibes were crushed at the bar. It
I
was
can only
pretty
imagine.
bad when we were down 0-4 in finals after such a like just crazy momentum that you guys have been on recently. But man, when you turned it around, people started gathering. People that weren't even there for the match started seeing what's up, and everybody was cheering. It was honestly really special and super cool to see. So definitely, like, I'm coming at it from a way different angle. I was just, having a good time at a bar. But you guys were on the main stage, mounting the greatest comeback that I've ever seen in Call of Duty history. So I've been watching competitive Call of Duty since 2010, 2011, like since there was streams of it, basically. I know Kingdom's been watching forever. Icon's been watching forever. I've seen some crazy comebacks before. I've seen 2 best of 5s get won. I've seen Dylan Attach Price himself mounted a best of 7 comeback. Right? When was that again, Dylan?
Well, we had a best of 7 comeback versus Optic at Gfinity, which was 1-3. Then we reverse swept Epsilon in losers finals of season 3 in AEW playoffs. Then we went on to beat Optic in 2 best of 7s after that. So
wow,
we take care of business.
Yeah, you are the comeback king.
I think what was it? Was it in World War II Champs? Was it Envy that we reverse swept too?
Yeah, I think we reverse swept them, then made a 1-5 comeback like
in the last map, right?
The last map, or was it one?
It was like we were down like a lot. I just remember that. It was
I think,
like
I think
5-2 or.
We made like a 100-point comeback on the map 4, and then like a 1-5 comeback map 5, which is crazy.
I feel like that series is super underrated too, and like a lot of people forget about that.
Yeah.
If it catches on the roster, something crazy can happen.
It's never chalked. I mean, we released the comms video today, which was really, really cool to just hear like how that all ended up going with you guys trying to gas each other up, get hype, turn it around. I'd love to know just how it felt being down for, like, it seemed like you guys were very calm. Were you guys calm, and did you believe, hey, just we can do this one round at a time, one map at a time? What was like the thought process when you're down 0-4 and best of 9 grand finals?
I mean, going down 0-4 is like never ideal, obviously. So, the fact that like in winners, you like we woke up that day and we didn't get a warm up from like any pro teams. So like we did warm up in our room together. Like we were playing against literally like Jake, Brian, like playing 3v3 hard points and stuff, warming up. But like that doesn't necessarily get you in like the mental mindset. So like going into that match, like even though it's from winners, like Ultra just came off like a hot win. So they have all like the momentum, all the energy, and we went into that match and like map 1, like we got smoked, like we got smoked. But like even though we got smoked, like I knew that's not how we play when we're like fully on. And like after every map, when we lost first map, we're like, okay, we're warm now. We got second map, and then from second map, we're like, okay, like we lost second map, now we're warm. Third map, and then they like kept going on to the fourth map, and we actually won a map, and then we are just like, yo, like we can do this. We just gotta focus up, and made something crazy happen. So.
bananas.
Yeah, no, it definitely took us a few maps to like get into it. Like I was saying that even on my stream earlier, like the first couple maps, like you're getting your hands warm, but like also at the same time, like you're getting like your brain working again. Like you're getting that mindset of like, yo, we're rotating, we're using teamwork, we're doing all that stuff. So I think it took us a little bit to get like into that zone. Uh, but even like the third and fourth map, like to be honest, like we were so confident going into every single map. We were just getting more warm and warm as it was going on, and then we finally just like once we got that one map, we started getting some momentum a little bit, and we're like, all right, just take it map at a time. And we all had confidence, like even down 0-4, that we could still do it. Like none of us were like mad or upset at each other. Like we all were like telling each other, like, yo, we could still do this. Like it's not over till it's over.
Yeah, obviously going down 0-4 is not ideal at all, but I knew given the back end of the map set that we could 1000% win every single map leading up to that game 9, which I didn't think was going to be a toss up at all given our win against them on that map in the series the day before. So, yeah, I was super confident as long as we got to the raid. We just had to start it off with that Miami win. Miami win was the biggest map in my opinion because Toronto's like not terrible at that map, but we are also we're really good at that map. So I was just super confident that we were gonna take that and then just steamroll that momentum, like moving that propelled us through the rest of the series. So
Yeah, I mean, just to kind of jump in here, like if you think about it, being down 0-4, coming back, winning 5 straight maps, it seems absolutely bizarre. But Mike, like you mentioned, you look at the map set and it's really not super surprising.
yeah,
Like Ashley and I have been doing the
uh,
co-streams a big part of the year, and anytime we see a Miami S&D,
Look who it
we're like,
is.
okay, if that's the 5th map, like we feel comfortable with Miami S&D, as we see Brian there in the background. But it's the same thing with Garrison Control. Like it seemed like the first half of the year was always all right. If it's raid control, we're good. And then Garrison, slowly but surely worked its way in. So when you look at, okay, we're down 0-4, but map 5 is Miami S&D, map 6 is Garrison Control. Like it kind of makes sense how that's the point in time where you could start to get some map wins, build momentum, and then take that throughout the rest of the match.
yeah, it's really just came down to us playing not complete perfect Call of Duty, but just minimizing our mistakes because like we were saying after those first few maps, even the hard point, the SND, the control, those 3, we were going to the bathroom or after the map we were just criticizing like, yo, we're gonna be doing this, we're gonna make sure we're doing that. I think those for that first map we were just solely focusing on trying to shoot straight and win our gunfights. We had 0 teamwork,
Yeah.
anything like that. And then as the series progressed, um our teamwork started being a lot better. We were shooting a lot straighter because we were actually playing more maps. Our comms were cleaner. That we were actually directing people around. Like we were actually working together on situations. So, just as the series got farther and farther, we're just playing even just better and better. So.
Kingdom, do you have any kind of thoughts or questions that you're wanting to ask the guys about finals, or even just the tournament as a whole?
Oh, I mean, I have a million thoughts and questions. I've been watching Call of Duty for so long. I think I've seen Attach play. I think all of you guys, I've seen you play since the first time you played. And I know this was easily probably the biggest thing you've ever done. And it's great to. It was great to witness. I guess my question is like, was there something that changed? Like, was there something going into this major that you guys changed that you can actually talk about? That you guys changed as a team? Was TCT like always a thing, or was that something you added coming into this tournament? Like, what changed?
I guess you could say TCT was like always a thing, but Mike was actually the one who brought it up. Like we were just like, I forget when exactly he brought it up. I think it was actually at the tournament. Like we were just talking about before our match, and Mike was just like, "Yo, trust comms teamwork," and then we are just like, "Yo, TCT, yo, TCT," and then, like we just kind of
Nice.
got that in our head, and I think that like for us to like work, we're just really working on like literally that, like TCT, like trust comms teamwork, and like in our practice, I feel like when we've been getting on, like the situations we've been getting in have been like a lot more consistent, and like our adjustments, like whether it's scrims, practice, have been on point. And I also think like our shot calling, like Also, like shouts to Mike. Like our shot calling has been really, really good recently, and we are kind of finding like that dynamic on like how the map should be played and like what players should do what and how the flow should be going because obviously like the dynamic of our roster is not the same as like some of the other rosters, but we kind of found the way like to find W's and we just gotta keep it up to be honest.
Yeah, it seems like teamwork is something that is talked about at the highest level it's ever been in Call of Duty history, in my opinion. I don't know if Dylan would agree with that, but why do you guys think that now is so important? Did something change in Call of Duty in your guys' opinion? Because you guys have been playing for a long time.
It just comes down to like how serious Call of Duty is now. Because back then, there wasn't coaches, there wasn't analysts, there wasn't people just focusing on certain game modes for their team. Now it's so serious, and they're trying to get it down to a science, finding how you can be as impactful by making a certain play. So everyone watches VODs in detail now. So it's every little thing you have to learn and do right. And if you make one misstep or one bad play, that could cost your team the game. So we've really been going hard, watching our scrims back, watching matches, and figuring out what we need to do, how we need to play certain situations, and it paid off.
Yeah, it did.
I'd freaking say, man, like it's crazy. I mean, you could almost like see the shift. As a lifelong Minnesotan, Minnesota sports fan, I've seen a lot of our teams be pretty decent. We're mad decent kind of most of the time, and sometimes there'll be an end of the year little spark that makes everything look promising. And we've said all year long on this podcast and just in general, like this team on paper has for sure what it takes to win multiple championships. I think. I mean, that's why we're all here, right? And but all year it's been, a little bit of struggle here, a little bit of struggle there, a little bit of movement on the roster. And to see you guys kind of bringing it together, especially at this time of the year, which is a pretty good time for it to come together, is really special. I'd love to know. So to me, it seemed like there was a distinct moment, though. There was a lot of struggle at the beginning of the year. We were beating the teams that we should beat most of the time, but we were struggling against the top teams, and even especially like Florida for some reason, just really struggling against Florida, unable to win a majority of the time against them. And so going into that Florida match, for group play before the Stage 5 Major LAN, that was massive because it implicated us getting winners bracket for Stage 5 Major, and it also helped us, get higher above them in points to help make sure we secure that 6th seed for champs, which gets us into the winners bracket. So I would just love to know, like, from your guys' POV going into that Florida match, like, was that around the time where like stuff just really started to click for you guys? You guys looked untouchable in that match, and then you just brought that momentum into Stage 5. I'd love to hear, like, before the Florida match, what was the big kind of change?
Yeah, we just really started like working on like teamwork and communication, like everything we've been preaching. And like going in that Florida match, like winning that the way we did, I feel like just kind of showed us like all the work putting in right now is kind of like paying off. Like we went in there and like that was like some of the best COD we played. So I think after that we all started getting like that trust that like, yo, we're getting nasty, we're starting to get really good, and like we just started carrying that momentum through like every series after that, in my opinion. And that Florida match was huge for us.
Yeah, to bounce off Preston, I'd say that like before that Florida match, like our scrims, like we were looking like the best, like probably like the best we have been looking like recently. Like our scrims were like really productive and like we were just frying and like really honing down on like just like getting better to be honest. And like us dominating Florida like that, I feel like it all kind of showed us that like, hey, when we're actually like playing as a team, like what we're actually capable of, and I feel like it kind of also gave us a boost. Like, hey, like we can make some magic happen. We just gotta keep working hard.
Yeah, going into that Florida match, before the match had even started, like the night before, I knew that was the most important series, like online series of the year, given Florida's CDL points and us having to win that match for winners bracket for the major. Because starting and losers bracket in a major on LAN with fans, it was just something I'm not trying to be putting myself in. So I just knew that was the most important series for the year for us leading up to that. That part so far. And then yeah, like our scrims, like Eli said, I was telling Eli and the rest of the team this, like leading up to that series, our scrims were probably the best they've ever been. Just how productive they were. Like we were progressing, doing things consistently, and like just having good teamwork. So yeah, I was definitely super confident going into that series, and then like Preston said, even afterwards, I think we really just like clicked and was like, okay, we can. We're the practices is actually paying off.
Yeah, and like seeing something like that happen, like right in front of your eyes, especially like as a team, like I feel like that all just kind of gave us a confidence boost as well, and like all made us really believe in ourselves that much more. Like I feel like that really does matter when it comes down to like winning and using teamwork. Like you really got to deep down like believe in each other. So I
Yep.
think it's important.
Have you
100%.
guys talked at all about the LAN factor? I mean, I know I don't see any of you guys, I don't think, tweet about it a lot, but I'm saying, obviously you guys gel in person and not just online. Like, obviously, we saw the results of what happens when the four of you get to sit next to each other, and you're on a stage, and the other team is over there. Like, you guys succeeded in the midst of that. It didn't matter what team it was. You played literally the best teams in the world. I think the only team you didn't get to play at the tournament was Optic, but they didn't make it to you, and so you had to beat Toronto again in an amazing fashion. Have you guys as a team like thought about that? And not saying like looking back and be like, oh, we could have been better all year if we would have been on LAN, but have you guys thought about the good impact that had and what that was on your ability to beat these other teams?
Yeah, going to LAN, I mean, it felt great to just go there and play our game. That's kind of what I was saying the whole time. I was just like, yo, go to LAN, stick to what we've been practicing, and it's going to pay off. Because when people go to LAN, especially when there's a crowd in front of them, they start playing a little different. They start taking a little too many ego chows, running around a little too much, maybe not waiting for their team. So I just really wanted us to keep it basic, keep it simple, and keep the game easy for us. And that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah, I think like Dale said, sticking like keep like implementing the practice into how you play in a tournament is the most important thing, like consistency wise. And outside of that, I think our relationship has like grown. I mean, we're in the gym together like 4 or 5 days a week. Get food, whatever. So I think having like a good relationship or a good bond with your teammates is also super important, just for like that trust factor, like out of game. Because in my opinion, that just translates in game too. So especially in like a high intense pressure tournament environment, that kind of thing is important. So
Yeah, I don't. We never had like the conversation of like, oh, we're probably gonna be better on LAN or online. Like,
yeah, we never.
we never really talked about that. But I will say, like, especially Eli, I noticed Eli feeds off the energy, and that's like huge for like, because like some amateurs, I feel like you can pick up like into the pro scene, and they're gonna either get affected in a wrong, like in a negative way from the fans, and like kind of shut down, or you're gonna feed off of it. And Eli was feeding off it, and that was huge for us. Like, he was playing his own game. If not, he was playing more confident. You know what I mean? So like that's huge for all of us. I mean, me, Mike, and Dylan obviously have a little bit more experience, but just for Eli to come in there with that confidence and like in front of a crowd, he's like hyping up the crowd. He's doing things like, I'm like, okay, Eli, I see you. You know, like first time in front of a crowd, and he's doing that. So like that's huge
Yeah,
to have on
that
a
was,
team.
yeah, it was-
Yeah.
That's there was a lot that was made of like people saying, oh, well, what happens when the rookies get on LAN? And I'm not sure if there was anyone that like singled out Standy or Eli in that conversation, but there was always that thought of like, oh, well, are they actually going to come and do that on LAN?
Yeah.
And so Eli, talk a little bit about like, were you nervous? It's okay if you were, but like, how did you like get through that? Did it just come natural? Like once you're in it, you're fine. Like just talk a little bit about like, it is a little bit of added pressure of people saying, oh, you're not going to do shit on LAN. And then look at you, you're doing the zombie walk on stage.
So the way that I kind of view it is that like when I decide that I want to try to become a professional player, like this is what I was like trying to envision myself actually doing, like in front of a crowd, like on stage. So like that's kind of like how I envisioned it when I first decided to go pro. Like I want to have gone pro. Like these are the moments that I kind of wanted to like experience, like go through. So I think honestly, like I was definitely like a little anxious. Probably had a little bit of anxiety like before the match, just because like you're sitting there, the game's not starting, like they're just counting down, like all the fans are making sounds. But like once I actually like got into the game, like got those first like few kills, like won my first few gunfights, kind of started getting going. That's when like I feel like I kind of like zoned in, and then also like having the support of the crowd, like it almost felt like the crowd like wanted us to win. Like they wanted us to win so bad, and like it's a great feeling, to be honest. And then also like even going down 0-4 in finals, like, and then seeing them all leave, like you just kind of need to look at it in the perspective that like, wow, like they really like left, like they don't believe in us, like we're really good at, like everyone that left, like they're about to miss something like great, like you should not have left. And like that's the kind of way that we looked at it, I feel like. And just hearing the name like just chant for you and stuff, like it's just like, wow, like maybe I'm the best right now. Like maybe I actually am the best right now, kind of. It just makes you start thinking like, wow, like it just gives you that confidence and it makes you feel unreal. So
What's the story behind the zombie walk? Because I just like do you guys talk about any sort of walkouts that you want to do beforehand? Were you guys just like, we're just gonna chill, but Eli, go ahead. Like, what's the origin story behind the zombie walk? You had people at the bar doing the zombie walk. It was nuts, dude.
So like honestly, so we were in like the scrim room one day, like we were just scrimming together, and I saw this super funny video that one of my like someone that I follow on Twitter, they tweeted it out. It was like these two people that were like making zombie noises, like trying to like do their best impression as like being a zombie. So then like I showed everyone the video, and like me and Dylan, like we just started to act like I did it first, but like it just kind of became like a funny thing, like just trying to act like a zombie and just make zombie noises. It just kind of became a troll. And then like when we were up there, we were like what should we do when we walk out? And like backstage, we are just like making zombie noises and stuff. Like right when the other teams across from us, they're probably thinking like, "Yo, what are these guys doing? What is wrong with them?"
They were like barking and making zombie noises like right next to them.
We're just messing around, and then like I just honestly maybe I'll just go out like a zombie. They're probably not gonna know what it means, but like the fact that like everyone else on the team knows and like the coaches, like at least they know, and it's gonna be funny, and we'll just see what happens. So
I like, and honestly, for the finals, I really like the people were calling it like the Minnesota Massacre. Not a big fan of that. We were kind of getting massacred there for
yeah,
a
I don't like the
sec.
massacre.
I like the RØKKR Resurrection, and it fits with the zombie theme. So I don't know. It makes sense to me. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Like, let's talk a little bit about champs, because now we're locked in with the 6th seed. We are starting in the winners bracket, and we play. I should know this. Shannon, who do we play? Producer Shannon, are you even put on the screen? What's the bracket looking like?
Crimbot.
Here we go. We're going against Dallas. Woo! I mean, looking at this bracket, guys. I mean, maybe I'm just drinking the purple Kool-Aid, but we beat these potential teams this past weekend. How do you guys kind of go into this next tournament at champs locked in and just making sure that you're as ready to go and rolling like you were this last weekend?
Just really buckling down on our respawn game modes, because coming out hot and winning that first respawn is so important. And then when you're a good SND team like we are, we're going to be able to win those late round scenarios and those clutch things. But a lot of these teams are probably going to try and watch our SND. We might have to switch a couple things up or keep some things the same. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But just really keeping our respawn consistent, and then focusing heavy on S&D, some new plays to catch other teams off guard.
Yeah, I mean this is still a tough bracket, you know. Like Dallas and Toronto have been top teams the entire year, so like we're not going to go in and take anyone lightly because we just beat them this last tournament. Like they're really good teams. We know the players they have. They're talented players on every team. So we're going to go in and just keep practicing how we have been and just keep playing our game.
Yeah, to go off that, like the fact that we won, I also feel like since it is champs, like all these other teams like Dallas, Toronto, like FaZe, like they're gonna go like that much harder, and they're gonna definitely like look into like our team a little bit more and try to prepare for us a little bit more. So I think it's just that important, like so that we all go like that extra mile on like being prepared and ready. So
Yeah, I would say they all touched on it the same way I would. Just stay consistent with our practice, and just build off of this win, and really just buckle down, not be complacent at all. Just because we won in the fashion we did, it's just motivation to go that much harder. Because in my eyes, people are still counting us out at champs, regardless of what we just did and the teams that we're gonna play. I mean, even versus Dallas and Toronto, people were like, Dallas or Toronto might take that series, but I do think these teams will really look into our VODs, especially our SNDs. So definitely gotta have a different kind of a game plan heading into champs. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, for me, it seems like one of the biggest keys to success when it comes to stage 5 and even like in stage 4 is just the expansion of the map pool. Like that's something that we've noticed because it seemed like early on during like stage 1 or stage 2, it almost had to like fit into a little box in order for to get a dub, right? It was like you had to win 2, 3, 5, and if that happened, like win the S&Ds, try to get control. And at that point, it was raid control. So win a raid control and then just win the S&Ds, and that was like the path to victory. But it seems like now, especially in stage 5, this was the only stage where when it comes to all 3 game modes, hardpoint, S&D, control, everything was positive. And S&D, you guys were 10-2. So you guys have talked a lot today about how strong your S&D is and how teams are probably going to focus on your S&D. But there's also, when it comes to specific maps, like Checkmate Hardpoint, it seemed like for a while, Checkmate Hardpoint was almost like an auto veto. Like stage 4, you guys played it twice. Stage 3, you played it twice. And now you come out in stage 5, a map that we haven't really even seen very much as of late. And you guys went 5-2 on Checkmate Hardpoint. It just seems like all these maps from earlier on in the year where it was like, all right, we have to play raid control. We have to play maybe Moscow S&D. That's our path to victory. Now it's like whatever maps you guys want to veto against us, go ahead, because we have this other map pool that we're pretty strong at and we feel confident across the board on those.
Yeah, to bounce off that again, like I feel like the reason we got better at a lot of those maps is because like we're actually sitting down and looking at like why do we keep losing this map or why do we keep losing this rotation? And like on certain hills we're like, okay, maybe we should set up a little bit differently. Just try it out, see what will happen. And we just been kind of testing, seeing what will happen, and we kind of found a system that works most of the time. We're definitely not perfect on every single map. There's definitely a lot more we still have to work on, but for the majority of maps, like we've been pretty solid, especially with like our rotations, holding hills. So I think it just comes down to making sure that we like look over what we're messing up on and just trying our best to like fix these problems that we have. So
Awesome, dude. It makes sense to me. I'm so excited for champs. I'm gonna be in LA with you guys this time. I was so sad that I wasn't able to be in Texas with you. I was holding it down at the bar, of course, but it'll be
Love
great
that.
to it'll be great to see you guys and just go into champs. I mean, I think like I do want to. We're gonna answer some chat questions here shortly, but I want to kind of just go back to your guys' reaction to something. So we posted a post-match interview. I think it was the last time that you guys played FaZe on LAN during stage 4. And Brian was like pissed, basically. Like he was saying, we put them on a pedestal. We didn't like play confident, or I can't remember the exact quotes, but he was fired up. When you guys see stuff like that, is that like really motivating? Does that really like set in and click with you guys? Did you guys feel the same of like, man, we really didn't play our most confident Call of Duty, and now it feels like you guys are? So I just like to kind of hear your perspective on that. Um, do you guys think like the confidence that you've built stemmed from some of those mid-season losses?
Definitely. I mean, you got to lose to learn and get better. But only a few players and teams will actually take what they can from those losses and improve. And you'll see the teams make big strides. Because from Major 4 to Major 5, we were completely a different team, and I think we all feel like that as individuals and as a team. Even 3 weeks before the event, like we didn't feel like we were as good as we are now. But seeing like having a bad Major 4 and just not playing up to our expectations and not being where we want to be was the motivation, and everything else on that is just added on to extra motivation. So we just were a completely different team. We've been playing with confidence. I think we all have the game plan when we go in. Like we know what we want to do on certain rotations, what we want to do on certain modes and control or plays in SND. Like we just have a game plan for pretty much every single situation, and everyone knows what they need to get done, and it just makes the game a lot easier for us.
Yeah. Kind of bounce off that. In stage 4, you're bringing up that Brian clip that Jake and even Jake was talking in that clip in our little room at the arena. The way we lost that, especially the optics series, like the control in the game 4, it was situations that we never really mess up in scrims. So it was really just fundamental Call of Duty that it was really frustrating because it's not like we're really just losing to ourselves. We were just throwing maps away, throwing away setups. So I think the way we performed in our scrims and the consistencies that we kept throughout that and in the tournament is 1000% why we won.
Yeah, no, I think I think like Dylan said, like any loss you take, as long as you take it back and learn from it and make sure you're improving and making sure you're not messing up what you just did, I mean, that's the biggest thing you can do. Like if you're always winning, like at some point teams are gonna watch you and see what you're doing and like they're gonna catch up. But like every loss we have, we go back, we talk to each other about it. Yeah, but yeah, the most frustrating losses are the ones where you know you're just losing to yourself. You're making the wrong plays in the moments where you just never usually mess up in scrims. And I mean, it's sometimes losing like that's a wake up call though, because then you're going into your next matches like thinking about what you're doing and making sure you're not actually making those mistakes again. So yeah, I mean, even Brian and like when they get upset at us for losing, I mean, it's understandable. It's like we practice this every single day and we're going into the match and we're messing it up. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I just the bounce back that we've seen, and I'm like, it's easy for me to believe because I've believed the whole time. So, I mean, I don't want to bring it up, Icon. I'm not going to mention it, but we do predictions on this show every single week, and I'm too much of a homer to ever predict against you guys. But like, I would say a massive majority of the time, I genuinely believe it. I'm like, yo, they have what it like. The pieces are there. It's just when is it going to get put together? So honestly, to see it kind of coming together here at the end of the year, obviously it's not done.
Yep.
Yes, we got it. You guys got Minnesota RØKKR, the first chip. I love that, but man, would it just be awesome to take that momentum into the next thing and just go big. So I guess let's get into some chat questions now. Guys, we want to hear from you guys in the chat. Producer Shannon will pick out some of your comments and we'll answer some questions here for the next 20 minutes or so. So my name is Ask, what's one weird habit each player has when they're playing or prepping to play? So is it, I don't know if a weird habit is like a superstition or like a thing that you always do, but what do you guys do before you play that's kind of weird?
I've been rolling out a little bit. Like we have like a foam roller, and I'll roll out before our matches sometimes. That's kind of weird. That I haven't normally.
Honestly, that's not those were kind of nice that when we had it there.
Me and Dylan were doing some meditation.
Yeah,
yeah. Y'all could get into that for sure.
Yeah, we were putting on some meditation and stuff, but we can't really go too much into that right now.
Yeah.
That's a secret.
You have to wait for after the season to find out the secrets about it.
We ain't getting no free.
We were also just jumping around sometimes, you know, getting the blood flowing. We would make some weird zombie noises and start screaming and stuff and yelling "Let's go" just randomly.
I mean, it's not necessarily weird, but like, yeah, like before the maps start, like everybody would just let out a big scream, just kind of like get the blood boiling, you know, just get in that mode. Especially because it's like the reason why I like doing it was just because it was actually pretty chilly on stage. So like, just getting loud. Kind of like letting out a nice, like a loud yell before the map starts, kind of just gets the blood going. You know, your body's feeling nice and warm heading into the map. So,
I really hope this was filmed.
Weird,
this had to have been filmed.
No,
right?
it definitely was. We were letting out some roars for sure.
Oh yeah,
right,
I'm sure.
The next episode of Saga's.
I'm sure the
Saga's gonna be crazy.
There.
Joe definitely caught a lot of what happened.
Oh yeah, we actually
Next
do a lot of weird things now I'm thinking about it.
You guys are rolling out on foam, yelling. I like it. I like the hype.
Yeah, the foam roller is a good play.
Cassie in the chat asks, who has the best style on the team?
Probably Mike.
Style.
Probably not me. I don't know.
Mike goes hard with his clothes. He prides himself on looking fresh. So you gotta tip it.
I don't step out too often, but like.
What do you wear?
I don't know. Like it just depends. Whatever I'm feeling.
He wears a lot. Exactly.
I just see you in RØKKR stuff all the time, so I guess I haven't seen you like.
I do wear a lot of RØKKR stuff. V1 especially. I like the V1 stuff.
I like the V1.
So that's
stuff
where
too.
the style's from.
Yeah,
okay.
we all got the V1 drip.
Yeah.
I like the V1 shirt.
This is a great question from. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I'll just. It made me when you said the V1 shirt. It made me think of. I seen the blue one. It's like the
Iceland shirt, the Viceland shirt.
It might be the Iceland shirt. I need one of those. Those are
right.
fire.
We got you. We'll hook you up. Fred asked, do you think there's an advantage to finding form towards the end of the year with teams not being able to prepare to a new look? So do you guys basically is asking, does the new look, or do you guys feel like there's a new look that's happening here at the end of the year that teams just weren't ready for from you guys, or what like made it so that these top teams weren't ready for you kind of coming into your own?
It's really hard to see how good teams are because even when you're doing really well in scrims, people might not think you're that good of a team, and you actually might not even be that good of a team if you're doing well in scrims. Because a lot of people talk about how they do so well in scrims, they go to stage and they can't replicate it. So, but you can tell like at certain time, like, I could tell personally because we were doing good in scrims at some parts, but then this past couple weeks, I could tell like we're actually getting really good, and I could just see everyone improving and our teamwork improving. So it was just amazing. But I think us teams really started to recognize because we were scrimming some top teams and beating them pretty badly in scrims, like not as bad as before. So I think teams are kind of starting to realize, but you got to go to these tournaments and back it up with your gameplay there. So it felt good.
Yeah, I guess to like touch on it, it is kind of hard to like prepare for a team that's like, because I mean, we did revamp a lot of our gameplay and how we like to play. So people are probably going, I mean, that's still what we're going to keep doing, but it's hard because people are probably going back, watching our old tendencies and watching our old S&Ds and like trying to like counter what we're doing, but everything's switched. So it's kind of hard to prepare in that sense to like when they play against us.
It's all about having that variety, in my opinion. Like, you got to be ready for like the situations you are faced against, and like it's Call of Duty's a game of like, what is the other team showing you, and what are you gonna do to counter that, and like what are you gonna do after they try countering you in a way. So I think it's just all about the more you have in your book, and the more plays you are able to pull out, and the more situations you're able to like throw a different look and come out on top is like really really important. So.
Yeah, just being able to freestyle in the moment. That's the word I use, is like just like especially in like S&Ds and stuff, when you can just tell that you've been completely hard countered, and like in your head like, okay, these guys watch us do this, so we're gonna do this and this, and change this person here, this person there. So like really just freestyling in the moment is really important.
Beautiful. I see the chat asking, who is the hardest player to eliminate in the entire league? So who's just cracked super hard to get the kill on him? Is there one player that comes to mind?
I think Shotzi's pretty good, to be honest. Sometimes when he's finessing, he's really good.
I've been saying that boy Cammy. That boy Cammy lately has been going crazy.
Too.
Yeah, Cammy's good.
Probably someone on FaZe. Because FaZe not only like super talented and have good movement and good gun skill, but they have really good teamwork too. So when a team like has good teamwork and then they're talented with gun skill, it's just that much harder to kill them because you're always getting team shotted. They're finessing. So I'll probably have to give someone on FaZe.
Yeah, you can't take a gunfight against those guys lightly. You're not.
Yeah. There's a lot of players that have just good finesse. Yeah, probably somebody on FaZe. Like Cammy's honestly a very underrated pick. I think Cammy's really good at this game. Shotzi also has like really good movement too. So probably like either those two or somebody like on FaZe, I would say.
Or Standy at Back Laundry.
I was gonna say, so maybe Standy though. Maybe I don't know. I mean, watching it's hard for us obviously because we're not playing every day against these folks, but to see like just whenever they're like certain players are getting spectated, it's usually the players that play really fast, like the Abizis, Shotzi, Cammy flying around. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to have just a player that's a tier above everybody else. I do agree with the chat. You guys do have the best hair in the league. That's for sure. And you guys are the most handsome team in the CDL. Like that's for sure.
That's true. That
like
is
you
true.
guys have 2 championships this year. Truly.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Attach, drop the skincare routine, says BZ. Yeah, you guys, I mean, this goes back to the handsome. It really is.
Yeah, just a lot of use of the people. Face cleanser, lotion. That's it.
Moisturizing.
Maybe some sunscreen if I'm going outside for a long period of time.
Who spends the most on hair products? Everyone's hair looking pretty fire.
I don't use hair products. I'm gonna be honest.
I only use gel like sometimes, but that's it. Like I don't use gel every day.
What? You guys just wake up like this? Are you kidding me?
Nah, I blow dry it.
Some
Like, I don't
days
have
I use
gel
a
in
little
right
bit
now.
of pomade,
Like,
some
when I was
pomade.
going to the event, like, yeah, I was putting gel in, like, a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of keep the hair,
You
like,
got to, because
frizzing
you're gonna
up,
be out there
yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll use a little bit of pomade. Like if I'm going somewhere, like a photo shoot or like going to an event for somewhere for a long period of time, I use a little bit of pomade. Other than that, though, it's a chill day. Like I'm just going to scrim. Nah, just let the hair go
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Pretty much.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
just
do.
got like the hair of a troll. Like you know those troll dolls where you can just like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can just
Yeah,
control
I
how
know
the hair is.
exactly.
Like I push my hair up and it just stays there. Like I don't even know how it happens, but it does.
We need to get you a little troll comb. Just like comb it up.
Nah, yeah, that'd be funny.
Oh man. Music to listen to pregame for each player. That's a great question, Arthur. What do you guys listen to get kind of pumped up before matches? Do you listen to music?
Yeah.
Kind of just like whatever's in my playlist. Whatever music I'm kind of just feeling. Sometimes I'll like listen to some like throwbacks. Yeah, I'm a big music guy, so I'm like always listening to music, even like not even just before tournaments. Like when I'm in the shower or when I wake up, I'll turn on the speaker, or I'm just like chilling. So definitely always gotta have some music bumping.
Yeah, I always got the playlist, like my favorite playlist that I play. But like if we're getting more deep into it, sometimes I listen to some Pop Smoke, some just like top artists, just some like hype music, just you know what I mean? So sometimes it gets you in the zone.
I mainly listen to like more chill music, but then like there's times where I'm like kind of want to get hyped up. So like Brian will throw some stuff on the speakers. Like we'll have some hype music playing sometimes, but for me like I've always been like the person like before my match I'm always listening to like chill music. I didn't really like to get like too hyped before matches. I like to be like relaxed before I'm going in.
Yeah, I think having a speaker
zen
is a
out.
factor too.
Yeah,
Like we brought a speaker in our room when we were just warming up and like chilling
That
all
was-
day, and then it's just good to just blast some music, and then everyone gets into that mode, and I don't know, it's just a good environment.
Yeah, we had a mosh pit in our room. Eli's throwing beanbags and chairs.
Chairs everywhere, yeah.
You guys turning up before the matches, huh?
yeah, maybe swinging.
That was so
jerseys-
funny.
swing-
I wonder-
Joe
I wonder
swinging
if Joe
jerseys
got
around.
that.
I wonder if Joe has that on
got
film.
that
That'd be
was
so
Joe,
good.
I hope so. I think Joe might still be uploading the footage from this weekend. There's so much of it and just so much awesome stuff. I was looking through it today, and yeah, just like awesome. I mean, it goes back to the like you guys mentioning that you spend like a lot of time together. You go to the gym together, like you're building that team chemistry. I think that like I've always thought that that's a factor in competition, competitive Call of Duty. I guess I have a question until we get a new one from the chat. Attached, Dylan. I watched you in Los Angeles at the top of a parking ramp win COD champs when you were like 18, and you've had some, I mean, crazy championship wins. You've won champs. You've had crazy comebacks. You are that guy, pal. So like, I would like to hear from your perspective. How does this win like? Is it elevated because you guys were down so much? Do you compare it to any other like win that you've gotten in your career? What does this win mean to you in comparison, or do you not compare them?
I mean, you can kind of compare them a little bit, but each win is like a great piece of its own because you're always going through something different at a different period of time. Like with this win, people would say like this is the hardest time to win in Call of Duty. There's been very few teams who have won this year. I think FaZe, Toronto, and then us. There's only teams that have won so far this year. So the fact that we can still be competing and win after all these years of competing, it just feels really good. And then to just have a talented group of guys who are easy to work with inside a game, hang out with outside a game, and then obviously be very talented and good looking. You know, it's a good time.
It's a good feeling.
I love that. All right, we got any more questions from the chat here? Where we at? Young says, "What were you thinking after you won 4 maps straight?" That is actually a great question. So
It's
I mean,
over.
I don't watch
It's
you. I definitely
over.
thought it was over. I
We're
definitely thought
winning this.
We don't want to know. We're
We're like last map raid.
Mike
Like,
was trying to
yo.
eat, bro. He said, "Yo, he's
I
like,
said, "Yo, I'm hungry.
Let's
Let's
get
do
out
it."
of
I was
here."
so
we better
hungry,
win this
bro.
fast so we
I
can
was-
go get some food.
No, like
how did-
after we went down 0-4, I was like, damn, we're about to be here all night because I knew we were coming back.
That's
Um,
awesome.
But yeah,
What did you guys do to celebrate?
I don't know what the name of the restaurant was. It was in Brian's hotel though.
Yeah, we went to like a little steakhouse, and then after we went out and got some drinks together and chilled.
Yeah.
Ew, look at you.
Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. I think
Nothing like you guys in Minnesota at the bar, jumping on the tables, taking your shirt off.
All right. The alcohol was flowing when we were down 0-4 because I was feeling quite sorrowful. I was like, man, like this always happens.
And then it got to the
Minnesota.
third, fourth map, and it just started.
And then the alcohol
going.
was still flowing, but for like a better reason. Like
Exactly.
we were
Yeah.
hyped, dude. It was
Exactly.
nutty. There was a guy that like jumped on the bar and took his shirt off and did the helicopter.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
Yeah,
incredible.
he was turned.
That's some good
Oh
stuff.
my gosh.
Yes. Yeah, the next event that we have in Minnesota, best believe there will be a turn up. It's gonna be crazy.
100%.
Of that.
IKON Kingdom, do you guys have any questions? I know it's a little tough because we have like
I
80
have
people in here tonight, but would love to know if you guys have any questions or if you see anything from the chat that you're like, oh yeah, let's ask them that. What are you guys thinking?
I have a question. So I was watching the match that you guys played against FaZe, and they've only lost, I think, 6 or 7 times this year, but very few times have I seen that team and those players feel like they didn't know what to do. Like, you guys actually put them in a position where their mid-round thinking it still didn't work, when they were trying to change in the middle of any of the maps. And so I think, like, I didn't notice, and it looked new to me, but you guys had a tendency you were very smart about your timings, very patient, and I heard there was like a comm or whatever of Alec when they were playing against Seattle screaming, let the kills come to us, let the kills come to us, because, that team, if they run at you and you run back, a lot of times you're going to lose that, trade. And so you guys seem to let FaZe come to you and you got the kills. So many times, there's many times in all of your matches where you'd see someone laying down and then the team would come around the corner and you'd kill both of them. Is that a meta change that has happened, or is that just the right way to play this game? Because it seems like a lot of teams throughout the tournament tried to shift to that after you guys did it to FaZe, but it was kind of too late. You guys just did it so well. You use such great patience.
Well, I think that it's obviously LAN. Everyone's like, you're not gonna get joked, all this stuff. Like, you're on local area, like pre-aims are gonna work. But I think at the end of the day, like, setting up in this game is really important, and like there's a lot of nerd spots that you can use in this game. And I think that every setup that you go to, like, you want to put yourself in the best position or the best position to catch the other team off guard to make sure you secure that first kill. And once you get that first kill, then it's just all about trading. And honestly, majority of the time that when we got that first kill and the person that got that first kill stayed alive, our teammates came and helped them, and we'd get 2 kills before none of us died. And from there, it's just like simple setting up and securing that first kill, then working together to kill the rest of the wave. So
Yeah. And then whenever it was like a hard point, because I was saying this when we were like a couple weeks ago, when we were still kind of at the beginning stages of becoming really good, I was like, yo, when it's a hard point and we're getting points, getting kills, and just doing damage, it's a lot more fun than trying to break a hard point. So I just really put an emphasis on let the other team try and break the hard point, because they have to make a miraculous play, get a crazy 2-piece or gun one of us to break the hill, which isn't going to happen very often, especially if we have a good setup. So if they want to try and break us, like, yeah, come try and break us, and we're gonna have a good setup, team or crossfire, team shotting, and then, yeah, we're gonna build up streaks off that and hit the rotation, flip them out to the back.
Yeah. And I think too, on LAN the game, even online. So when you go from online scrims to online league match or online major, game slows down, right? But when you go from online scrims to on LAN major tournament play, the game's just gonna slow down. It's gonna feel easier when you're in those setups. The kills are gonna come to you. So yeah, it's just not about trying to do too much when you're in a good setup, in a good position. And yeah, just really just letting the kills come to you, not overdoing it.
Yeah, it's kind of all just like knowing when to slow down and when to speed up. Really, I feel like that's the main thing. Because like a lot of people like get caught sprinting a lot, and that's just them like just not knowing how to slow down in that exact moment, or them just getting caught off guard. So just being aware of like where the other team is and just knowing when to slow down is so big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Shout
team,
out.
it's a
Hashtag
team
COD
game.
timing.
It's a team game. You gotta use your teammates. If you're not playing with your
Right.
teammates, it's gonna be hard to win.
I did
One
want
would
to.
say that you need to play as one.
But hashtag
One would
play
say
with
that.
one.
For sure.
I wanted to shout out Priestahh. I heard today, and it sounded like facts, that you're the only player to win on the last 4 titles.
I didn't know if I was, but yeah, I'm on a 4-year win streak right now, so that's pretty. That's pretty.
Congratulations.
My
Wait.
dog.
You're the only
Let's go,
player that's on a
P-Dog.
4-year
You're
win
so
streak.
good,
That's
dude.
I didn't know. I
wild.
didn't know if I was the only player
That's
or
crazy.
not, but
I'm trying to, yeah, because Optic didn't win last year. Wait, Dylan, aren't you in the same boat? Because you won last year.
I'm 3 out of 4. I didn't
and-
win in Black Ops 4. I won in World
Oh,
War II. Didn't win in
I-
Black Ops
yeah, I
4. Won in
remember-
MW. Won in this game now.
Man, y'all just a team
One
full
off.
of winners
And
here,
Crim
dude.
didn't win in World War II, so yeah.
Yeah, wow.
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Let's go, P-Dog. Let's go.
It's actually
dude.
funny because
Oh.
like that like fact randomly popped in my head. We were down 0-4, and I was walking in the back, and I was like, I'm on like this is for my 4-year win in a row, and like I was like I want to do it right now. Like it's just
You're
so
right
weird
here.
that actually popped in my brain.
Yeah, I
awesome.
mean, that's hard to do. I mean, obviously it is. I don't know if it's as obvious to the folks watching, like, oh, cool, there's so many tournaments, you could probably win a bunch, but it is hard to like
It's
play
very-
at the highest level across. The game changes every year. It's
Yep.
The game changes every year, and like Dill had said earlier, the competition is at the highest it's ever been in Call of Duty. So I mean, if you think about it, only 3 teams have won a tournament this year. Us,
That is crazy. I didn't really realize
Toronto, and FaZe are the only ones that won a major. So the competition is very tight knit. So if you're not about your business, like
You're on top of your game, you know.
you're not on top of your game, and
Stack or starve.
yeah,
Stack or
starve.
starve. Wise man once
Stack or
said,
starve.
"Stack or starve."
Word to Dylan, man.
that. That's amazing.
And we
All
stacking.
right, guys. Well, any other kind of like closing questions here, Icon Kingdom, before we wrap?
Yeah, I'll just say one more because I saw Carlos Hernandez in the chat a couple times, and he pointed out like Preston, you had that 1v1 in the standoff S&D against Insight, and he was like, "How did you win that?" And I think I know the answer. And Dylan, you and Preston both, you had that 2v1 on that last raid S&D round, and Dylan, you challenged it and you won it. And like, was it just like you guys were feeling yourselves, so you were just taking gunfights, just ego challenge? Like, is that where that stemmed from?
Yeah, I mean the 1v1 I had, to be honest, I had an AR and a sub, and I honestly don't know why I had a sub out, but I was just kind of moving with it, like, and I was just trying to catch my timings. I didn't expect him to even be pre-aiming me, to be honest. I just came around the corner, and I kind of just snapped on him, and like looking back at it, it looks like I hit some crazy strafe, but like in the moment, I didn't even feel like I was like doing that. It just kind of happened. So I kind of just came around the corner and just snapped on him, and then the 1v1 I left Dylan in should have never happened. I almost trolled us.
It's all good though.
We were
'cause
like, he
listen,
can.
I died on Preston in the standoff. He won the 1v1. Preston died on me in raid. I won the 1v1. Like, we got each other. That's what
Yeah,
teams
that's
for.
facts.
I mean, so for the game-winning kill, it made me nervous to see Dylan challenging, but you also got some shots into him, right, Preston? And then there was a debate, I noticed in the comms video, there was a quick debate about, oh, he does have enough time. to
Yeah, so
plan.
like I
there
had
was like a scared.
I had him
moment.
one shot in the tiki, and then I was just like holding the angle because I thought he was gonna hop back out front to try to plant the bomb or like kill me and then plant the bomb. But he actually made a good play coming out the other side and challenged me from low. And I don't know if I actually tagged him up in that challenge, so I don't think he would. I might have tagged him like once,
No, you
but
didn't.
like I like when I died. Like at first I was like he doesn't have enough time, and then he came out and killed me at like 8 seconds. I was like, wait, he does. And I said
He
in like
has
the most
time.
calming
Yeah.
voice too because I was so shook. I was like, wait, he has time. Like no.
I was like,
we-
oh
we-
shit.
we
But
were,
then he
no,
ran at me.
I was literally like, he can't plant. He
The Preston goes,
can.
he
Nah,
can't.
He
Dylan-
can.
You said it like the softest voice, like you can't play.
Dude, I went to the like I was like.
Well, I mean,
"Fuck, he
Kleenex had
can."
2 options there. Like his options were to push out mid and like hope you catch Dylan rapping, but Dylan already had the angle because he was pre-aiming, or plant. So
Yeah.
who knows what would have happened? I feel like if Kleenex, not to like judge his gameplay or anything, was a little bit more aware, like in that situation, like you're trapped. You gotta think like the other person's gonna be like in a position to kind of trade you. Like if he would have came around that corner like pre-aiming or like through a shoulder, like who knows what would have happened. I got all my bets on Dill though.
Yeah,
Dill wasn't
true
losing
that.
One on one.
Yeah, I mean,
Dill
he
was
would
not
have
losing it.
He would have died.
He would have died.
It was running at him and he was gunning him no matter what.
The reverse sweep king himself had to staple it, just end it there. I'm glad you did, because my anxiety would have skyrocketed.
Oh yeah, if we kept going on 5-4,
No.
you never know. 5-5,
No
like, I don't
thanks.
know.
Yep.
I'm glad we ended it there. I'm glad we ended
Yes.
it
Let's
there.
go.
Let's go, P-Dog.
Oh man, well gosh, I mean, congratulations guys for winning the chip. It's actually so, and not to make it about me, because it's definitely like your guys' accomplishment. You've solidified yourselves even more so than you already had before, as just amazing, incredible players. But you guys actually won on my 2-year anniversary of working at RØKKR. So it's
Let's
been 2
go.
Oh, I
years
didn't know that. All right.
from
Congrats.
zero followers, didn't even have a name of the team when I joined, and now 2 years later, we've
Got a
got you
chip.
lovely gentlemen on the team, and we're winning chips. So I'm so excited to see you guys in LA. LA is in 2-3 weeks. It starts on
weeks.
August 19th. Sorry about that. 19th through the 22nd in LA. Check out if you're going to LA, get your tickets. Come say what's up. I think we might have like a meet and greet with the guys, and it's going to be a good time. But I know you guys are about to go super head down into the grind. I am going to ask you to do some content, not too much, nothing crazy. We'll have fun with it. I'll make sure it's fun. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on, and congrats again on the incredible victory. This is one that people will talk about for a long time. So
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
let's go. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll catch you guys next week.